Pet Shop Days, the new movie by Olmo Schnabel. This is his first film, and I saw this pretty blind. I see that it had its premieres at the Venice Film Festival, also South by Southwest, and a string of others, but it just had its New York premiere over at the Downtown Festival. I walked in with the knowledge of literally the image of this movie, but the story is about this young man named Alejandro who flees his wealthy family in Mexico to live in New York City, living a life of stealing, taking drugs, living dangerously. And he comes across this young man named Jack who's working at a pet shop. The two of them kind of hit it off, and basically Alejandro starts drawing him into this world of crime. I don't know how they're going to be selling this movie, but when looking at other reviews online, I can't help but to notice they point out that this is a queer movie, and that is a huge part of it. Indeed it is, but it's not quite what you think. The relationship on this movie is peculiar, and I loved watching it play out in such a unorthodox and refreshing way on screen. The dynamic between these guys is toxic, also aggressive and random, and it plays so well with this kind of chaotic spirit that this movie has. I am so surprised how funny some parts of this movie is. Obviously, I'm not going to ruin it, but I'm just blown away. Like, when thinking of comedy movies that people think are funny that are coming out this year or have come out, this one had some genuinely funny parts. There's also an executive producer credit by Martin Scorsese, and the influence is totally there. Also, filmmakers like Abel Ferrara, Josh and Benny Safdie, Michael Mann, and also I would think of the movie Bully by Larry Clark quite a bit. The dynamic on that movie is very similar to this one. The grainy cinematography on this movie looks incredible. I wish I had more images to show, but of course this movie is still under wraps. And I really enjoyed all of the performances on here. The main character of Jack is played by Jack Irv, who also has the story credit and a co-screenwriting credit on here. I really enjoyed his performance and overall inclusion on this movie. I feel it brought a lot of personality to the project. There are so many locations that are just not what you will see on a movie set in New York City, and it really does immerse you into the setting. Also, the performance of the character Alejandro, it's total chaos, really. I mean, yeah, I think some people might laugh too much at it, but I appreciate the actor doing his very best, and it almost reminded me of somebody going back in time to the movie Kids and taking one of the actors off that movie and bringing it to our modern day. There's also some interesting takes by like Peter Sarsgaard in this movie. Very interesting role, and Willem Defoe also has a sizable role in this movie. It's always a treat to watch Willem Dafoe play a character just so larger than life. All of the decisions made from its characters or the plot, it's random and impulsive, and I mention it being funny, but it's not a comedy. And yet it doesn't take itself so serious. This movie's very pulpy, and I enjoyed it for what it was. There's a car chase on this movie that I have no idea how they pulled off, and it also culminates to a nail-biting finale. Sure, it doesn't quite reinvent the wheel. We've seen neo-noirs like this and other New York coming-of-age stories, but doesn't change the fact that I was on the edge of my seat for the most part of this runtime. The 100 minutes on this movie are airtight, and I found myself greatly enjoying Pet Shop Days. I would give this movie an 8.2. It is going to be released by Utopia in 2025, and it had its New York premiere at the Downtown Festival. Thank you for watching.